of our relationship from when we first met and first got engaged. So I actually met my husband in 2007 on a missions trip. But we were not engaged until 2016 when I returned to Ghana on a mission trip, and then we actually got married the year after that. So I definitely. So as far as the evidence goes, I had copies of everything. Three copies of everything. One to keep for myself, one for the pack. Well, actually, four copies. Four copies of everything. One for myself, one for the packet, one for my husband, and then um, the backup. Always keep a full backup because paperwork get lost. Paperwork gets lost. Mail gets lost. Items get damaged, or you never know what might could happen. So it's always good to definitely keep a backup whenever you're doing something in regards to the government or anything. Honestly, I'm learning how to keep documents. So back to it. I did copies of my license, my driver's license, here. And then I did copies of all my utility bills in my house. The utility bills are basically just um, setting up a financial stability, showing financial stability that your bills are up to date, that you don't actually have too much going on right now, that you are not able to take care of your spouse when they first get here, because of course they're not going to have a job when they first land. So you're going to have to show that you are financially stable to go ahead and support your spouse when they do get here. Um, so the utility bills, I had copies of my last 3 years tax returns. I also put copies of the last 6 months of my pay. Photographs started from 2007, whatever I could find. Most of them were not of us together, but they actually, back then, was good because they were time stamped from the camera that we were taking the photos with. So I have plenty of pictures from 2007 all the way up until 2017 of our wedding, from the wedding beginning to end and honeymoon. So make sure you take pictures throughout the entire time that you guys are with each other. And I was very forgetful with that, but luckily my husband loves to be in the camera. So um, other than that, I also have triple copies of, quadruple copies of our birth certificates, his identification cards over in Ghana. My social security card is photocopied, and our original marriage license, um, which doesn't look like. So, and I will say this: do not laminate anything. Okay. To the United States, lamination is basically ruining a document. Okay. Anything laminated is alter. It's considered altering a document. So I actually went through a lot to have my name changed and everything because of the lamination. But we just wanted to do it to preserve our marriage certificate from coming to Ghana to the United States, and even here, because like I said, I'm really bad with paperwork. So don't laminate anything. Leave it in its original form, and just to make sure you put it in a safe place. Okay. I actually did get my name changed. So as soon as I got home, my name was changed um, from my maiden name on my license, my social security number, my social security card, and my job. So anywhere, even I even placed a couple pieces of mail in there that has my married last name on it as well for evidence, just to show that I'm already starting the process over here. I just need my husband here with me. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that you can put in there. So whatever evidence you think will justify or help someone looking from the outside in understand and know that this is real, that this is real, this is it. Then definitely do that. So that was that. I put in extra stuff too. The title of my vehicle. I have a paid off truck. The deed to my house. And then also I had two two friends. Yeah, two friends, three family members from my side, and then two family members from his side. They drafted up affidavits for us to place into our packets, which is they tell their side of the story about what they see in us or how they know us or were they a witness to the wedding and everything. And it actually worked out pretty great because three of my family members who actually have been there from day one in 2007 were willing and able to go ahead and draft up this affidavit and give it to us for supporting documentation in our paperwork. So the affidavit is basically just them telling the story. They tell their side of the story of how they saw us meet, and they were also part of our wedding. So that helped tremendously as well. Everything was notarized and signed by them. Um, and then copies were put into the packet. I also wrote up a supporting letter myself. They do give you this little tiny space on your I-130 to write out your story and tell your side of things, but we got 10 years or basically 4 years, honestly, of history to put in 10 little lines on a piece of paper. It's not going to work. So I actually drafted up a full, I believe it's 2 to 3 pages worth of information about us from beginning until now. So yeah, that should be all for my evidence part, and it doesn't stop. I'm going back this year in August, and even in between the year, we FaceTime almost every day. We talk almost every day. Ooh, gotta get back to that part too. But we talk almost every day, and or every day. And we got Facebook. You have WhatsApp. You have FaceTime. So all of those records are kept. Screenshot is your best friend in these situations. I've screenshotted us FaceTiming. I screenshotted my husband and our daughter FaceTiming. I screenshotted messages from each month, at least one screenshot of messages from each month. And we just make sure we stay in constant communication and keep a track of it. I did also place a record of my cell phone calls. Call your company or go online and download the PDF files of your phone calls, and you can actually narrow it down to it being that number, just so it shows a stream of phone calls that was made to your spouse, and that's also extra evidence that you can put in there. The screenshots are in there of everything as well. So yeah, I believe that's all the evidence. Now on the website as well, on the USCIS website, make sure you just open it up, download it, and print it out so that you can have it, and then simplify it like if you want, like I did, so that you can better understand it. But there is also a specific way that they want it sent in. So as far as it being sent in, they want 2 holes at the top of your paperwork, and then every page should be either signed or initial and dated, and I also have page numbers. So I don't believe I have a copy of my packet. You can see the way the packet was laid out in the first video that I posted. Yeah, I don't have it. So I did punch 2 holes in the tops of the paper, but I did not put them in any binder that way. I actually sent over the whole filing system. This one's not completed, but I sent over the whole filing system. Each label had a title and the dates or the year. Starting off was actually the payment. I had a small envelope inside that contained our passport photos. You need 2 passport size photos of you and your spouse, and then my money order payment of $535 made out to the USCIS. And that was in the front pocket. The next one actually had my table of contents. Everything was numbered. Everything was laid out so that it's easier for them to go to where they need to be to find the information that they're looking for. As you can see, everything is... Does that show backwards? I don't know. We'll see. But everything is labeled and numbered. So the copies of our marriage certificates, page 1. The copies of our registered certificate was page 2. Passport copies, copies of our visa stamps. Every page that I have visa stamps to and from Ghana, I make copies of as well. Copies of our birth certificates and other IDs and social security cards. Then our affidavits are listed. After my affidavits, there's financial and ownership evidence, which is the deed and the title to the car. My last 3 years of my tax returns, W-2s. I have copies of my bank and bill statements. Also the ownership letter and the property tax receipt from the house. I did add him on our vehicle insurance. So whatever I was able to add him to, that's what I did. So our vehicle insurance is together. And then more letters of support. So, and then the bottom of the page is signed and dated. Because I was very thorough with the whole process. Even the screenshot. Screenshot it and list it. Okay, so after you file your I-130, you will get a confirmation back in the mail. I received mine in less than 2 weeks, I believe, just stating that our priority date, what that was. That's also in the previous video, so I'm not going to go too far in depth with that. But I noticed while I was making the video, actually, and I thought I read over the whole thing when I got it, but I guess I even overlooked it. But my husband's last name on the paperwork was actually spelled wrong. Mine was spelled right, but his was spelled wrong. So I overlooked that. I did have to give them a call, and they were very quick with responding, and they did get his name changed on the paperwork about 5 days after I spoke with them on the phone. I'm not going to receive an updated letter. They still want me to use the same letter, but yeah. So it worked out either way. But definitely make sure you read over everything. Make sure your names, your date of birth, your address. I think that's the only information that's on there that needs to be verified. But make sure that everything is correct. Double, triple, quadruple check your own paperwork as many times. And then also, if you have someone who's willing and who's going through this with you, let them help. Just so happy. But to kill the time, I am going over there on a mission trip again this year. So I will see my husband when I do get there. So I'm gonna go ahead and in this clip, definitely thank you for subscribing to all my new subscribers. Those who have questions, continue to ask the questions. I will try to go ahead and get them out in the videos, but I do respond to you at my as soon as I can. So if you have any questions or anything, just continue commenting. I am loving the responses that I am getting. I do appreciate you guys following this journey. I will also, if you want me to, let me know in the comments or message me, and we can make sure to add you to our prayers. Okay, because going through this firsthand, we know that it's not an easy process. It's definitely a stressful process, and you know, it's tough. It's tough for both sides, depending on your situation and where you're coming from. So just know that we have you in our hearts and in our minds, and God loves you, and so do I. So thank you once again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Hopefully it'll be an update or approval video that I can post for you guys. If there's any more information that you need specifically that you want me to make a specific video about, you guys have to let me know. That way I'm not speaking about everything at once. If you want it broken down piece by piece, then yeah, give me a thumbs up and we can get that started. Okay, Thank you guys. Have a blessed day.